Hallo und herzlich willkommen, verehrte Zuschauer. Ich habe heute eine ganz, ganz große Ehre, denn ich habe einen Gast bei mir. Alex Hutchinson ist bei mir. Der ist schon sehr lange in der Spielebranche, hat an Titeln wie Sims gearbeitet, Spore, war jetzt unter anderem auch bei Far Cry dran und jetzt hat er ein neues Spiel in der Pipeline, Journey to the Savage Planet. Alex, thank you for coming by.
Thank you so much.
By in our studio, and he brought us Journey to the Savage Planet. A game I got to play last time at E3 and that I'm very excited about. It's one of my most wanted titles for next year because I think it just looks wacky and great. We're going to get right into the game. What are we going to get to see here?
You're going to get to see the very start of the game. So we figured the best thing to introduce everybody to would be, right at that point, we've got someone has already played with it. We're going to delete that.
Okay.
There we go. Hopefully.
There we go.
And now we're back. There you go.
Now we're back.
Hi. No.
That's what we're doing. We're playing now. Starting spot, default, and
hit
here
play.
we go.
There we go.
So, for the people that haven't heard about the game yet, I feel sad for you, but please tell the people what kind of game is Journey to the Savage Planet? Where does it fall into?
Yeah, so we like to think of it as an earnest satire. It's a first-person action-adventure game where you're dropped onto an alien world with the goal of exploring and cataloging all of the flora and fauna on it to see if it's a suitable home for humanity. But you work for Kindred Aerospace, who are the fourth best interstellar space exploration company.
The fourth best. Nothing beats that.
So they've sent you there, at least three. But they've sent you there with a lot of hope and not a lot of equipment. And you need to figure out a way to survive and to sort of, succeed in this crazy world.
So when you say survive and succeed in this crazy world, is it an open world game?
It is relatively open. It's not as big as some of the games that I built before. We went for density more than sheer scale, but sort of your goal is to turn over every rock and and peer into every nook and cranny and find all of the sort of secrets that we've hidden around in this place.
Okay.
So here you see, this is your habitat. This is the javelin. So each mission begins here. If you load the game, you wake up on the bed there. If you die in the world, you get reprinted, but from one of those big Bacta tanks there. Okay. It's also possible to play in two-player co-op, and if you do, then that tank there will print your meat buddy, who will come along for the ride with you.
I like the name Meat Buddy.
Obviously, you need to print new gear. So in here, you see all the different objects you can create. We tried very hard to avoid violence as the only solution. You can print a weapon, but you don't have to for a lot of the different puzzles in the game.
So what should I print?
At the moment, you can't print anything. You're stuck at the very start of the game. You can see some of the upgrades. A lot of it is there for you to discover. So all those sort of question marks are there for different obstacles you might come across.
And how does the upgrade system work? How do I get new stuff?
At the moment, you need to find a need essentially in the environment. So basically, it's a bit of a Metroidvania where you explore the planet as much as you can. You might come across a different obstacle, and when you find a need, you can then sort of scan it, and it will update your quest system, and you then need to explore and find the ingredients for it out in the world. Here you can see what's actually happening is you're getting your mission briefing from Martin Tweed, the CEO of Kindred Aerospace. Yeah. I like how it sort of follows you around your javelin. Anywhere you go, you're forced to watch advertising and or these sorts of messages. There's no sort of full screen video, so you can of course turn him off at any point if you wanted to, and that will sort of kick forward in the story. But you never get to actually communicate because we never take control away from the player.
Okay.
So the last thing you need to do here before you can go and explore is you need to log into your computer. I'm a big fan of 90s PC games, so I wanted to recreate that sense from sort of Mech Warrior or any of those games where you have to log in.
Everybody who grew up in the 90s, knows those boot up screens
exactly
with MS-DOS and everything.
So here in the game, you're being sent to the planet as the player. So you're not playing Nathan Drake or Nolan North. So you need to pick the character that you want to be. So this will set your sort of voice profile in the game.
Where did you get these, or did you guys make these? Or
we made them ourselves.
They seem like they could be from Google Pictures.
Yeah. Well, the top left one, that's actually you're chosen to play Marco. He's one of our technical level designers. So that's his actual high school photo.
Oh my God, that's awesome. That is just awesome.
So you have a helper, Echo. She's your AI companion, and you can set her. Some people like to be, to have a completely silent experience. I personally like Chatterbox, where they tell you, everything that's going and the jokes. But the one you chose is fine too.
Can you switch it throughout the game?
You can always switch in the menu.
Okay.
Yeah. So if you go through here, so I like this. This also like that idea that the game is sending you emails. You can rewatch any videos you might have seen on those big screens there. So you can duck into those and then see little messages from there, and they update as the game goes along. Also, as you find different alien objects in the game, you'll start to fill out your alien research folder, and you can go there. But now, if you want, you're ready to explore.
There we go. Let's go outside. So, Alex, I got to ask you a bit about your history in gaming, because you started off, working for The Sims and working on The Sims and doing games like Spore, and now you're doing a lot more action-oriented games. Is that something you've always wanted to do? Is that something you noticed you slowly transitioned into, you felt more comfortable with? And how do you feel when you look back at your time with Sims and Spore?
Yeah, it was a great learning experience for me. I was very fortunate that they brought me out there and they sort of trained me essentially at Maxis in good game design. They were always games that I loved, but I loved them sort of intellectually and not emotionally, if that makes sense.
Okay.
I was always much more of an action gamer, much more of a console gamer. So for me, the transition back to console games, whether it was Army of 240th Day or Assassin's Creed 3, was a much more natural space for me. And so then when we started Typhoon Studios, it felt like the right direction.
Okay.
So here you want to go back to your javelin. So turn left here. If you got to release the cartographers at the back of the javelin. So at any time in the world, there's no map in the game, but by clicking the right stick, you can get updates which show 3D positions on that quest. And you gather quests as the game progresses, and you can choose to track or untrack different quests as you go.
So it's basically my marker where I should go next.
Yeah, exactly. And we're trying to find the sweet spot between guiding you, but not telling you exactly where to go. There you go, fourth best, hatch.
I'm liking the humor very much.
It was a relief to sort of have a game. I'd made a few games in a row that were pretty serious, and then got to Far Cry, and that was a satire as well. And I really enjoyed being able to have a sense of humor and to make something that's bright and colorful and upbeat. So again, it was something that we thought would fit very well here. Yeah, so you have this scanning mode, which allows you to query the environment, and your mission at the moment is to scan your javelin, your habitat, for damage. So if you look around, all those sort of orange areas are highlighting things that you can scan, and you need to figure out what's broken and what's in need of repairs.
Something back there.
This is a good example too. Like by scanning that, you found the broken fuel line, and that's unlocked a new quest, which is basically you need to repair the ship and then find a new source of fuel in the environment if you want to launch your javelin back home. So if you want to end the game, you actually need to discover fuel in the world.
Okay.
So you've scanned all that, and it said that there's a missing panel which has been marked in the environment. If you click again, it'll sort of tell you the approximate location. So this is just a little tutorial area before we put you out there. Yeah, exactly. Just to show you what's on there. It's a slide. Nothing better in a video game first person than a slide.
So how do
this one you need to scan
just
this
scan
one
it
again.
Okay. All right. So we got our first little tiny mission completed.
And now it'll say like to set forth. So the little robots you released earlier.
Yeah.
The cartographers are going to scan the world to try and find you, useful objects throughout the game. And here's a good example. So you need to find a way out. So it's saying to scan those crystals.
Yeah. Fragile. Okay.
And now it'll say it's unlocked a new crafting mission, which is to craft the first weapon in the game, the Nomad pistol. So to do that, you'll need resources. Unfortunately, in our game, like all of these little creatures are full of resources. So there's different ways to get them. We tried to be sort of non-violent, or that works too.
Oh my God!
He popped.
How else
if you hold down the melee button, you get this sort of big grandma slap. There you go.
Oh my God! So much for not being a violent game.
You can choose to be. It's all about player choice. That's the joy.
All right.
All right,
So I'm
now you've
taking
got
all these resources.
And now you've got enough carbon. You can go back to your javelin and you can craft the Nomad pistol.
Okay. I'm loving the graphics. I mean, did you guys decide to always go for this more cartoonish look?
Yeah, the team it's not a full price game, and the team is very small by traditional standards. There's only 25 of us. So we knew we couldn't make a fully realistic, game. So like, you know, we needed to find a style that was appropriate and something that we felt could be, you know, attractive and still finishable for the team.
All right, can I upgrade something already? Nope.
You could go and smack some more of those puffer birds if you wanted to upgrade.
All right, so we got our first weapon. It's automatically...
Oh, if you look behind you before you go out here, or throughout the game, there's all kinds of fun advertisements that'll play automatically in the game as you go along. And it got me my best descriptor from in the States, the ESRB. I forget what it's, Peggy here, right?
Yeah, exactly.
A Peggy descriptor saying that you can hear the words cucumber shitwater in the game, so I've arrived. It's on the box, it says the words cucumber shitwater are audible, so my career is finished. I retire after this one, this is done.
All right, so we can finally break these,
shoot through these things.
Purple strands of whatever they are. And get out.
Yeah, just jump up there.
All right.
And so in the game, you've been sent here to, sort of, as I said, to catalog the flora and fauna on the planet, to take photos of everything.
The scanning is just basically a very important part of the game.
It is. It's sort of like your base quest. But as you go along, if you get out of scan, you'll see here at the moment, if you turn right,
oh, yes, of course.
The logo smash.
I almost missed it. Thanks for pointing it out. So in the game, just got it.
But here, very quickly, it's already opened up. So basically, now you're free to go wherever you want and do whatever you want. And the area you can see here, all the way up to sort of that bottom of that cloud line, is biome 1. There are 3 major biomes in it. And you immediately see here that there's not meant to be any intelligent life on the planet. But immediately you see this enormous tower in front of you. And you also see that the planet is sort of not really a planet at all. It's kind of a busted sequence of rocks that's sort of shattered. So we add a mystery to it, which is like, you know, how did this tower get here? Who built it? What's inside it? You know, and why is it here at all? Oh yeah, that one on the right. That one's an alpha. He's going to explode if you're not careful. You want to kick him probably. I'd give him a kick. Finish him off. He's going to go. He's going to explode.
No, I missed it. All right.
You're all right. So in the
game,
I'm
not all right. I died.
It's all right. You'll come straight back.
Okay.
In the game, every time you die, you get reprinted and you drop your stuff in the world. So you need to go back and get it.
I should have grandma slapped him.
Yeah, you should have just kicked him off a cliff.
Damn it. Missed out.
Oh, you're getting a message. You look on the big. Oh no, go back. There you go on this one.
Hello.
How did you pick this actor?
He looked like Chevy Chase.
that was the criteria. That was the criteria. We need to find someone that looks like Chevy Chase.
I liked him. He came across as sort of greasy. You know what I mean? Like he comes. I don't trust him. Even though in real life he's a lovely man and a terrific actor, but when he on screen, I found him sort of vaguely untrustworthy. So.
What a waste! Or even worse, the toilet? Disgusting. Put a smile on your face using your meat waste with
Is that someone from the team?
No. All these guys we found online, we're like hiring actors who'd never acted before.
Nice. I love it. All right. So no more dying now.
No more dying. You're fine. I believe in you.
So as you said, scanning is a big part of the game, and just exploring.
I mean, it's a game where, for me, the people who are going to enjoy it the most are the people who, say, bought Red Dead Redemption 2, and as soon as they received their first quest, ignored it completely and ran off and rode off in the other direction. The game is, you know, it's sort of designed to be whatever you want it to be, and it's more fun the less you listen to us. Okay.
So what do I have in my left hand here? That's like some kind of
You've got
food?
Grob. Yeah, you've got universal space food, which is Grob. Throughout the game, you'll accumulate more and more weird objects in the left hand. So if you think the right hand is sort of defense, and the left hand is sort of a puzzle-solving device. So here, if you want, if you go down there lower, you can throw it, and it'll attract different creatures to it. So if you want to move them around to different areas, if you want to lure them away from something, so if you do it, I think it's R1. There you go. And they'll go eat it. And it's also another way to get some of the resources. Like early on, you didn't. Oh yeah, that's it. There you go.
Payback. That's what you get.
But if you wanted to get the carbon from those creatures without actually killing them, you could have fed them as well. That would have worked.
Okay.
in that earlier.
And they
in that
would have
area.
pooped it out. What are these things? Do I need to
These are health, but you can scan them. Yep, they're like little health nodules. Basically, you know, that plant on your right was a way to get sort of more health as you go.
Okay. So we've got this frozen lake here. These things. And this is where we need to go. This looks like it's going to break anytime.
You know your video games.
And we got these guys here. Whoa.
Yep, these ones are aggressive. So only about half of the creatures in the game are aggressive on sight. The rest will like leave you alone basically unless you start hassling them.
All right, I'm very bad at aiming.
It's all right. You can get there's a health plant on your right, just there. Go shoot that thing. Yeah, you got it. You're good.
All right. Now I'm gonna get you. There you go.
Bingo.
Go.
And there's a waterfall there, and as you know, every waterfall
Of course, there's got to be something.
there has
in
to
the
be
back.
secrets.
What do we have here? Nice. So these are basically upgrade pods. I find those.
Yeah, exactly. So you know, and I always like those old Capcom games where you ate, you know, chicken drumsticks off the ground.
Yeah.
So we went with sort of an alien sort of goo pod as something you should eat off the ground. Originally, we had a mission where the more of them you ate, you sort of started to mutate into some strange sort of thing, but we couldn't quite finish it. So we'll save that one for the sequel.
Okay. Yep. So how does it work with your work process when you decide to make a video game, especially when you came up with this one? Is it you and a team of like your closest confidants that get together and just brainstorm? Is someone that approaches you and says like, hey, maybe we can go this direction? Did you have the whole idea by yourself and said, now I need to find a team that does it properly? How did the whole process of this game come together?
Yeah, for me, like these days, it's sort of based on, it's not so much that there's a really specific idea that you have on day one. It's that there are sort of design principles that you have, you know, like things that have worked in the past, like whether it's the ability to, like allow players to sort of choose their own path through the adventure. You know, the idea that the player story is more interesting than our narrative. And then you combine that with the kind of people that you have access to and you think of what you can make. So how many people, how big's our budget? How much time do we have? And so it's a combo of those sort of design principles and sort of the realities of game development. And then it's a massive collaboration. You know, you sit down with the team and you have different ideas and you try to get better ideas from the team around you. And then you just iterate over and over again until you get you hopefully get the best version of the game you could make. So with Journey to the Savage Planet, I knew I wanted it to be a satire. I knew I wanted it to be bright and colorful and upbeat. I wanted to build on a lot of the learnings we'd had in Far Cry 4 in terms of sort of a first-person adventure game. So when we put all those things together, and then we started to put the team together, and you know we had some amazing artists and some amazing engineers who had ideas on mechanics and sort of the visual style of the game. We ended up here on the Savage Planet.
Wonderful. And I do love the style. It's nice and colorful. A lot of games, you know, nowadays they're all brownish.
Brown and green. Yeah, brown and gray, I should say. Brown and gray. Well, that's just it, you know, and it's sort of like I wanted to get back to that feeling I had growing up with video games, you know, sort of in the 80s and 90s where, every game I opened felt sort of magical and different and weird. And I didn't know the game I was going to get just as, you know, whereas, you know, if I'm buying, you know, these days, half the games are, you know, they're the 7th or 8th version of the title, and I know exactly what I'm going to get before I even turn it on.
All right, I don't think I can.
So this one, you see, you found a
jump.
neat, so yeah, you found a long jump, and it's unlocked another quest for you, which is the sort of jump thing. So if you hit your scanner, it'll tell you to go over to the right. And that's sort of the general structure of the game. You know, you move toward, you explore as much as you can. You come across a natural obstacle, and then by scanning it or by attempting it, the game will add a quest for you, which pushes you to your next objective.
All right, we got those mean things again here.
Luckily, you have infinite ammo. Your gun is solar powered, so you're pretty safe.
There we go. Where are you?
He's hiding.
Oh. All right. That should do it.
That should do it.
Now we need to find, there we go, in the back there. Just in case. Somebody attacking me? Oh, there's one more.
Another one. There you go.
So how long has this game been in production now, in development?
Yeah, so we started the studio in February 2017.
Yeah.
So it comes out the 30th of January here in Germany, and so that means it's almost exactly 3 years from sort of a few of us building IKEA furniture in our temporary office to release, which is pretty great. The game itself probably about 2.5 years.
Does it sometimes make you nervous because you've worked at big productions? You have been to big studios before, and now you're basically on your own on this endeavor, and you're responsible for people and everything. Does that give you sleepless nights?
It definitely does. I mean, like even we always feel responsible. I think no matter what. I'll go under there. Yeah. You feel responsible no matter how big the studio is, because it's a creative business, so it's pretty easy to miss. So it's a stressful job at the best of times. But now that we are the only ones responsible for everyone's well-being, it definitely does mean that you have to take it very seriously and make sure that you're focused on doing the best you possibly can.
Yeah. All right, we've discovered this nice little cave here.
The other cool thing is you can always throw the stuff in your hands. So if you hit R1, you can always chuck anything in that hand you can throw. So that sort of stuff, you could create a path of light. So later in the game, you might be picking those things up and throwing them around the world as well.
Slidey McSlidenstein here. We're slowly getting up there, and I take it then we learn how to.
You'll get a unique resource. You got it.
There we go. Wonderful. It's the black goo from Prometheus.
It really is. I realized someone had a Prometheus reference the other day, and I was like, it does look like the black goo from Prometheus. We're not as scary as Prometheus. Nothing quite.
Otherwise, I wouldn't be able to play it.
No, I just turn it off. Yeah, but so now you've gathered the unique sample, and you've already got enough carbon from other things in the game, so you can head back and craft the double jump.
So basically, I need to head back to my ship.
You do, and I'll show you a quick way to get there. When you get out of the caves, if you turn to the right, there is a fast travel system on the planet that you can sort of hack your way into and connect to your ship, which allows you to upgrade everything.
Can I make that jump up there?
I don't think so.
Yeah, okay. Oh, there we go.
Everything's gooey. That's the thing I like in the game. Everything was disgusting and gross.
I love it. It's wonderful.
So if you just go around to the right here. So again, there's not meant to be any intelligent life, but there's all these sort of weird structures that you find as you present. So if you scan that, you'll figure out that you can then upgrade your teleportation system to communicate with the aliens.
It almost has like a Metroid Prime kind of feel to it, where also scanning was a big process of the experience.
Yeah, and that's it. We definitely had Metroid Prime. We had lots of Metroid Prime was one influence. Far Cry was an influence. Subnautica was another one.
Oh, really?
So like all these different games were things that we sort of we wanted to lean into.
Okay.
I was a big Metroid Prime fan. I loved that game.
Yeah, wonderful. So what are some of your favorite games? When you have the time to sit down and play a game, or throughout your career, what are some of the games that you really enjoyed?
I grew up on the Amiga, so a lot of my favorite games are the Amiga 500 stuff. So I was a big fan of the Bitmap Brothers and Sensible Software and all those sorts of companies. So I have a lot of love for Chaos Engine, Sensible Soccer, WizKid and WizBall were big fans of the sort of oddness of that. And then some of the early Bullfrog games, Syndicate, all those sorts of things were great.
Classics.
Yeah, and then over on the, it's hard. There's so many games, I think, all the time that are coming out that are so terrific that I always get nervous when everyone says the favorites, because it's something like, can I go by genre and console?
Yeah, exactly.
Like,
I think it's such a tough question because sometimes some games just don't pop into your mind that you actually,
Yep.
It's like when somebody asks you what's your favorite movie, it's like,
there's
geez,
so many.
There's so many, not all of them come to my mind right now.
And so for me, like, Zelda, Ocarina of Time was a huge, was an amazing game. GTA 3, I still think is the best of the bunch. The first Red Dead Redemption, I thought was absolutely astonishing. The narrative in that was brilliant. So there's so many great games. So you've got the double jump now. We actually let you get a triple jump and a quadruple jump if you decide to go that way. And it's only mildly polluting. We were trying to popularize the term a polluter shooter, but it doesn't seem to be catching on. It's like a looter shooter, but more pollution.
All right. So we get the double jump. We can make this jump over here then. If I can lose track of.
You got it. And it's funny too, because the game is it is quite dense and quite mazy. You're doing a good job of sort of navigating it. Some people we've found have been used to big open spaces.
Okay. Always those resources.
Yeah, originally we had quite a bigger survival element when we started the game, and then we found that it just didn't fit the sort of tone of the world.
Go on. You know what's good for you.
You remembered that one from
Yes, I remember that from
E3.
And now we go over here, I think, because there's another one of those similar. Yeah, exactly. Get those going on right there. I love it. It almost feels like it's a twisted version of a Pixar movie. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it was cool. Like we used the Groods. Do you remember that movie? That was one that we the Groods that we used as a visual example as well. But yeah, sort of like the sort of juicy, sort of toy-like feeling of all the creatures in the world, and comboing that with a sort of more Metroidvania gameplay approach.
So, nowadays the trend seems to be a lot towards multiplayer, and especially also when it comes to, games like Battle Royale. And a lot of it has changed, and there's been discussion going on that, single-player games, they don't really attract people anymore. A lot of bigger publishers are saying that. How do you feel about that?
I think it's very short-sighted. I don't think it's true at all. I think the beauty of the modern games landscape is that it's so big these days that there are different types of gamers in every corner of the world. And so it's possible now to have a game that can even sell a few million copies that is very niche, on one side. So I think it's short-sighted from some of the big publishers. I think you're right. At the moment, there's a lot of money to be made in the Battle Royale genre. You look at Fortnite, you look at Apex Legends, you look at all these sorts of games. They're doing big numbers. But then again, you look at sort of single-player games, whether it's say Witcher 3 just did massive numbers. Red Dead, Redemption 2, I think did huge numbers just based on its single-player campaign, and then of course there's the bonus multiplayer as well. But I think you can make, if it's high quality, you can make a game of virtually any flavor and still do pretty well. But we haven't launched yet, so ask me in 6 months, and then I'll tell you. Maybe I'll be making a Battle Royale.
Do we need to? We need to activate the teleporters. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're going up there.
You can go up there. This is an interesting spot because if you want to see one of the predators, one of the more difficult creatures, you can go straight ahead here.
Okay.
Oh, before that, kick that. It's like a big explosive grenade. But if you kick it, just kick it. There you go. You can like kick enormous grenades at people.
Nice. I like that. All right, so you said here we're going to kind of
yeah, you'll find a one of the predator creatures in the game from Biome 1.
Oh, there we go.
Yep, and when you got the double jump, you also gained a dodge. So if you hit the circle with sides, yeah, exactly, you can dodge sideways as well.
All right, it's time to take on this sucker. Oh shit. Okay. No, I need to reload, damn it!
You got it.
Whoa, jeez.
That's one. Oh, so close.
Oh! Ah!
You can upgrade your clip size though. That is one bonus. There you go. You got him.
There we go. Very good.
You got him. There's more. You probably don't
Oh
want to.
shit!
There's a few more coming, so you don't have to play them. I just get out of there.
What's this thing?
That's what would open. If you killed the last two, you would get the resource that's
Okay,
inside
I'm
that.
leaving. They can't double jump, can they?
They cannot.
Okay.
You're safe.
I showed you guys. All right, where did we actually? Oh wait, what's going on? I'm too close to those things.
Well, it depends what you want to do. So at this point, you could journey. There's a cave down to the right that you could. Oh, they're behind you. He's attacking you. They're still shooting.
Something's attacking me. Oh yeah.
Well, I think
there.
it's those things there. Oh no!
No! What happened? Oh.
It was the strange big spiked balls that were shooting.
And you get too close to them, they open up. And
Yeah,
they
they
shoot
open
you,
up
right?
and they shoot
okay.
exactly.
Okay. Is there anything else maybe we can upgrade?
You probably can buy some. You could probably buy some more. Upgrade your weapon. I think.
Beat scraps, fat, and gristle, plenty.
All right, we got that. No, unfortunately, nope.
Wait. Oh really? Oh, because you dropped your bag.
Is that what happens?
Yeah,
when
you
die?
dropped your resources. Yeah. So you have to go get your resources.
But
and
you
then
can go back and get
You
them?
can go back and get them.
Okay.
Yes. And there's a quest for it as well if you want to track them, so you don't have to even remember exactly where it was. It should be very close to that.
Yeah, exactly. I was right around there.
Ambient temperature 81 degrees.
So these things normally just attack when I'm close to them, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
There's your body. Oh look, you can bury him.
What's happening?
You buried yourself. You made yourself a little grave.
Nice.
But you
Okay. I'm always getting too close to these things. Okay, so I need to go up there basically.
There's to kill those last two creatures to get the alien alloy, which will allow you to fix your javelin, your habitat. The little box, the little purple box icon over there, that's your loot crate from when you previously died. End up over there, or you could go to the right and down this way over there, and gain another upgrade if you can get through into that cave system.
Oh, okay. There's a new challenge. Oh, this guy. I think I've seen him at E3 as well. I don't know if I was able to.
So we got to sneak up behind him.
Yeah. Gotta wait for the.
Yeah, you're okay.
Am I?
Yeah. I go poke him.
That's like something out of the Three Stooges.
And that gets you into there. Now you can go into the cave.
I'm loving that this is just like about exploration and just finding your way through. At what kind of audience are you aiming this game at? The hardcore player or the more the casual? Where would you say the difficulty spike lies?
It's pretty. We were looking at that and we were thinking because we wanted it to be upbeat and positive. It's not incredibly difficult. You know what I mean? It's like it's more complex to find all the different corners of the game, but it's just sort of time investment. You can die. Obviously, you've died a few times, but it's not something where we're going to punish you a lot in the game. We were joking for a long time that it's a game for old people, or for people with jobs. It's only like 10 to 12 hours long. It's not 1,000 hours. There's not a huge amount of grind in it. We want you to keep finding unique things and fresh elements. We don't want you to sort of have to spend hundreds of hours, just gathering a resource to level up or anything like that.
So we got this right here. I bet I can shoot through it, right? Or kill with fire. Oh, I need to get something with fire.
Those things on your right.
These things?
Yeah. This one lets you pick up. At the moment, there's certain things in the game you can pick up that you can only hold for a little minute, like this, until you upgrade your glove. But if you do that and you throw it, yeah, exactly. and later in the game you can upgrade your ability to hold them for in your pocket.
Wonderful. And you said there's a co-op mode, and the whole game I can play with my buddy.
Yep, you can whole play it. It's 2-player co-op. I love 2-player co-op. I think
Yes.
I call it intimate co-op. It's like you and your best friend or your kid or your partner versus the game systems. I think it's truly cooperative. Even when you get to 4 people, it's sort of collaborative. You know what I mean? And then past that, you barely even speak, while you're playing the game. So usually it's just like a shared world. I like the idea of unfortunately we don't have sort of hot seat multiplayer on this one, but you can network with your kid who's away at college, or you can call up your best friend somewhere else, and you can play the whole game. You can just jump in for a little minute if you're struggling with an encounter.
Where do I need to go now?
Okay, so go forward. See another cracked wall dead ahead of you, so you need to make your way across, and then.
Let's see if I can.
These ones sink.
I don't know if I can make that one.
I think you can.
Oh, there's a. Oh shit! No!
So close.
All right, you told me that maybe you have another biome to show us.
Yep, we can let's load it up. We'll take you to the back of the end of the game. That's good though. You got through that pretty cleanly.
Yeah. If that wouldn't have gone down, I would have probably.
No, I'm excited.
I got too greedy.
It's fun to watch people actually play it. Sometimes it means that the flow of the game is actually working, as opposed to.
No, it feels good. The whole control scheme, it feels really good. It feels tight. It feels responsive, and like the jumping. Normally jumping in first person sometimes can be very irritating and not feel good. But right here, it feels pretty good. It feels fair and everything.
Yeah, that's why we had the mantle, just to give you a bit of extra room. You know what I mean? The game will pull you up onto a ledge if you just miss. But yeah, first-person platforming was the team was a bit suspicious of first-person platforming.
Yeah, of course. I mean, it was a game like Half-Life, which of course is an amazing game, but a lot of people forget about like the last part of the game, where all that jumping was going on the planet Xen, and it was just like, nah, it
was kind of nightmarish.
That wasn't really too good, No.
Well, everyone forgets too that at the end of Half-Life 1, you throw bombs into a giant fetus brain.
Yes, exactly.
You know what I mean? And you're like, I don't know what's happening. Okay, so here is a little insight towards later parts of the game. You've got all the way up to the top of the tower.
Yeah.
So now you need to figure out a way into that room in front of you. And I'm very excited now that it all looks like the cover to an old Yes album.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like we've achieved our artistic goals. So here you have a grapple that you would have built by now. You have lots of new abilities, and you also have you can overcharge your gun by cranking it up. You have a rail slide in your left hand as well that you can use. So if you go forward.
Yep.
And jump onto that thing and then hit the left bumper, you'll actually stick
with that
to that
thing?
Yep, that blue thing. No, it's just in your equipment no matter
with
what.
My left bumper.
Yeah.
Oh, holy shit!
Grab the next one.
Oh my god!
You did it.
That's fun.
So yeah, there's like a little roller coaster. It's a bit like the BioShock Infinite mechanic, but it's sort of, it gets you around the world.
These look like the beginning enemies, but they're mutated into giant eyeball creatures.
Yeah, they used to sing. When we had earlier versions of the game, they would sing at you, but people found it too creepy, so we just didn't.
Really? Oh no, you should always have creepy singing enemies. Okay, we need to get in this room, you said, right?
Yeah.
Let's see. Yep.
So at the moment, you still need to power up this device. So this sort of ancient tower that you've been exploring is still not fully functional at this point in the game.
Yeah.
So you need to discover ways to keep it going.
That's a great transportation system. That's awesome. And I think it's also very smart that you've got the teleporter and everything, so you don't have to always walk back to your spaceship.
So this one's a new mechanic too. You have like a super boost jump. If you do square and X together.
Square and X together.
Then you can launch yourself like a rocket.
Oh, okay. Wow. It seems there's a lot more role-playing system in there than I initially thought.
This one's good. You'll have to stick to that one on the wall. Don't worry, you'll stay there once you get it. There you go.
Okay.
And if you look up there, there's another one. Dang, then you have to jump off though.
Oh God.
There you go.
Oh God.
No, you got it. This is good.
This is awesome. I'm liking this. All right, I like it that it's showing you when you have to hit.
Yeah,
one.
we toyed with it a little while,
It's
but
fair. It seems like a fair deal.
And we named all the areas you find after like bad 70s science fiction. So like it's all like, you know.
So what's one of you, name some of your favorite science fiction movies? Because I'm a big fan, of course, and everybody loves the usual, Alien and Blade Runner.
Yeah, exactly.
But what are some that you think that maybe not that many other people know that you really like?
Oh, I mean, maybe these days when people, but Logan's Run is, is a phenomenal.
Nicholas Winding Rev was supposed to remake one with Ryan Gosling, but they didn't end up doing it.
He got sucked over into Blade Runner, I guess, Gosling. So he's in every movie now.
Yeah.
But,
and I was a bit disappointed because I would have liked to have seen a remake of Logan's Run.
Yep. Solaris is another brilliant one.
Which one? The old one? Or
I like the
one?
original one. I didn't like the Clooney one so much. But then you've got there's just someone. Moon is a really good recent one.
Yeah,
if you've seen.
Sam Rockwell is always good.
Yep. And actually, Ad Astra I just saw on the plane over to.
Is that good?
It's actually surprisingly good. It's a little midlife crisis. But it's pretty much Brad Pitt flying to Neptune to see his dad.
Okay.
As a middle-aged guy, you
slowly start getting the point of something like that.
Yeah, exactly. It wasn't too bad.
Okay, so this door.
So here
closes.
you find an area. If you go up to it and you scan that door.
Yeah.
Then you'll see again like that just general structure. So this is a proximity door. It'll say, look, you could probably freeze it if you gain like the stasis ability.
So
and
there's another ability we can gain.
Exactly. So there's always, right up to the end of the game, you're gathering new abilities and all that
So now that it's told me again that I need to gain the stasis ability, how do I know where to go there?
Okay, so go open up your pause menu and go to the journal, and you see you have hundreds and hundreds of those. So you also have some science experiments here. So as you go through the game, there's like weird little things we ask you to do, little challenges to mess with the creatures and probe them. You have a little probe ability as well. But here, if you track chained lightning, go up to that one. If you track it with X, so now if you go back out,
okay.
and now if you click right stick, it'll tell you where in the world it is. So there it is, it's way over there.
Oh, okay, that's all the way. But everything I see right there, I can get to.
That's exactly right.
It is an open. I have to ask you about the open world thing again.
Mm-hmm.
It is an open world, or is it several open areas that you traverse to?
It's open world, but it's narrower than some of the stuff that I've built in the past, just because we didn't have the team size to build it. But you're blocked by abilities usually, so there's nothing. Once you have everything, you can go in every direction as much as you want. You got it.
Shit!
No, it's all right. It's all right. We added this. It used to be an instant death. But then we let the cartographers like pop you back up, so you lose a little bit of health.
Really nice.
Yeah, so it was just too frustrating for a while. People were really displeased at the instant death.
No, but it's a great idea. I mean, I'm loving the look of it. It's nice motifs and nice panoramas.
Yeah, we really wanted to get that sense of even though it's not as big as some people's own world, that sense of wonder, what I mean, from a science fiction. It feels like if you're going to do science fiction or you're going to do sort of something completely invented, that it should feel wondrous and alien and fresh as opposed to just something else.
So
look on your left there. I think you can go in there too.
Talk about alien and science fiction. Did you play No Man's Sky?
I did. I really like No Man's Sky, but for me, having worked on Spore, I realized that procedurally generated content, or
exactly. That's what I was wondering. That's what I was trying to get at.
Yeah, I realized for me it felt very empty and hollow.
Yeah.
That I don't want to discover something that a machine built. I want to discover something that a person created.
But it seems like everything is going towards procedurally generated. I mean, I think the term has gotten so fancy. Back in the day, it used to be called randomly generated.
Yeah, exactly. That's right. Well, random sounds bad.
Yeah.
But it's still pretty random. I mean, it's within a range, like whether you're building scripts to look at a database like we did on Spore, or you're having a rule set that generates content for you. I just don't think I think it's interesting, intellectually, and it's interesting, from a programmer sort of perspective. But as a player, I don't find it interesting. I don't want to climb to the top of a mountain and find, something random. I want to find something that an artist put there or a creator put there. So this whole game is completely bespoke. We built everything in it. And I think that means that people can invest time in it and hopefully uncover sort of why we put it there and uncover the sort of the meaning that we wanted to imbue the game with.
I don't even know why I'm jumping up here.
Well, yeah, I know it's because people just jump on by default. Actually, this one you have to go down.
Yeah, I think because the machine is broken or something.
Yeah, it's busted. You need to go down and restart it. So like if you go to that again, if you scan that little tile there, you'll discover another ability, a new ability you need, the stomp.
All right. So the scanning, just in general, is a very important thing.
Very important.
That's something you have to get used to.
Yeah, exactly. Well, it's just sort of also it's a way for us to like allow a sort of natural tutorialization process as well.
Yeah.
Like we're not forcing things on people. It's always that the player is asking the game a question, and then we can provide some information back.
What is this thing?
All right, so they're grapple seeds. Like if you go back out, it's hard. There's not going to be any area here, but they're those things those points you were grappling to.
Yeah.
These are seeds that will grow those grapple points. So there's some areas of the game where you can place your own path.
Okay.
And you can grapple up.
Probably even to discover some new features.
Exactly.
And spots
there's so much hidden stuff in there. We may have hidden it a bit too well. We did one of those tests.
Well,
where
there's no such thing as hiding stuff too well,
No.
because nowadays people will have found it after like a day or two.
I remember I had a bet on Spore. In Spore, we built our solar system in a galaxy of thousands and thousands of different solar systems. And Will Wright said it would take a year for anybody to find our solar system. I think it took 6 hours after we released the game.
Does Will Wright, do you still keep in contact with him?
Not really. I think he's semi-retired these days.
Yeah.
Like he's doing his own thing. But
well, he's done enough.
I think
he's done enough.
He can relax.
All right, because I think I'm not going to get any further right at this moment. We're going to want to come to an end. So, Journey to the Savage Planet, when is it out?
It's out January 30th here in Germany.
I'm looking very much forward to it. It's one of my most wanted games for the next year because I think the style is crazy, the humor is very much fun, and I just love the look, and I really want to explore this world. Alex, I really appreciate you coming here. I appreciate what you guys are doing. I wish you good luck finishing everything up through the holidays, and that you get everything done how you want it. And of course, that your game, when it comes out, that we all love it and you have lots of success.
Hopefully we sell more than one copy. Yes.
And we see more games coming out from you. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Ja, Journey to the Savage Planet. Ende Januar ist es soweit, dann kommt's raus. Ich freue mich wahnsinnig drauf. Ihr habt es ja gesehen, das ist einer meiner Most Wanted Titel des Jahres 2020. Ich freue mich da sehr drauf. Vor allen Dingen, dass man das Ganze im Koop-Modus spielen kann, finde ich natürlich super cool. Und es ist verrückt. Es hat viele abgefahrene Ideen im Rollenspielsystem und einen coolen Planeten mit Viechern, die man ins Auge pieksen kann. Was will man mehr?